So welcome back to another video. This week we're going to be looking at a form of contactless washing, but this week for the wheels. So I've had a few discussions in person then recently about contactless washing. I think people are sold on the idea, as in they think it's really good, they want to be able to do it, but they've had some issues basically putting it into practice. One of them is definitely the products that they're using. So if you're using just a general snow foam, middle of winter, you're trying to do a contact-free wash and expecting absolutely amazing results, then you're sort of setting yourself up for failure. So that's one thing. So using the correct products is definitely right up there. And then the other one is, well, if you don't have those products and you're not willing to buy those products maybe, what else can you possibly do? So it's come to it when you're not willing to buy something like Biltamber's Touchless or something like that. You know, you can use that always, all year round, depending on PIR and what mixture you're wanting. It's a really effective product. If you're not wanting to do that and purchase that product, or for some reason you've got an alignment with someone else, or you don't want to use alkaline snow foams because you've got a bit of a misconceived conception about what they may or may not do, which we've already disproved on this channel, but there you go. Some people are still willing to go down that neutral is the only thing I'll use on a coated car for their LSP, whether it's a spray-on coating, wax ceramic, something like that, or whether it is a full ceramic coating. So one of the things that people can struggle with then in this scenario is wheel cleaning. It's one of those, depends how often you're keeping up to it. If you're at maintenance level washes, weekly, 2 weekly, and you're in the middle of summer, you're going to have no issues whatsoever usually. If you're in the middle of winter and you haven't washed your car for 4 months, and then you're expecting maybe just to be able to do a touchless wash on your wheels with maybe a snow foam and a pressure washer only, then you're going to come a bit unstuck in most cases. So what we're talking today is general light maintenance, sort of anything sub 4 weeks, depending on conditions. If you're in really bad conditions, you're probably not going to get away with it, but we're coming into sort of spring, transitioning to summer now here in the UK, and although you won't believe it, May time, 12 degrees, raining, but it is what it is. It's par for the course, I suppose. So what we're going to look at is a really easy, quick option. You don't have to use this particular brand. It's just the concept and what we're doing more than anything today for the wheels. I'm going to do, because it's what I always use and what I have available to me. I've got a couple of these Koch Chemie all-purpose cleaners. Got Polestar, Green Star. I've discussed Polestar on the channel before and what uses that could have. Bit of a softer, more neutral cleaner, suitable for levers, things like that. When you're stepping up to Green Star, it's a pH 12.5 undiluted, if that matters to you. But this tends to be used for exterior cleaning, engine bays, as a more general, tougher APC. I'm not saying this is the best one out there, and you might have seen other videos where there are other better products from my other favourite brands, as you may know, that are at least up there, if not better than this one. But what I like about this is its versatility and its sister products. So what I generally do is I have a couple of different dilutions of this mixed up for different purposes. My use cases then is this little spray bottle here. See there, Green Star mixed at 1:10 ratio. So this is, real run-of-the-mill, general, what you would use this for. And this is generally used for exteriors only for myself. I do have it at 20:1 and weaker, and I've used that in a pump foamer, but that's for other applications. It's perfectly acceptable for other use cases on plastics and things like that, and some trims. But this is for outside use only, and what I'll end up doing is engine bays, covers, things like that, and I use these on the alloy wheels most weeks really. And I've mentioned it before on the channel about when I was using the Auto Glim APC, just churning through it, getting, it's one of those, it's a very expensive product. You buy it as a litre, ready-made, diluted, and for the same price you can get this 1 litre bottle of Koch Chemie's Green Star, and then how you want to dilute this is entirely up to you. 10:1, 20:1, 40:1, depending on your use case. So it makes this product a lot more cost effective. This isn't about this product per se, it's just the all-purpose cleaner. Like I mentioned, what we're going to do is we're going to apply this APC in this case, which is Koch Chemie's Green Star 10:1, to the wheels. We're going to leave that to dwell a few minutes, and then what we'll do is we'll apply just a general snow foam over the top of that, which isn't going to give us any real, excellent cleaning power. We're not putting Biltamber's Touchless or Auto Wash or something on there to sort of enhance this. And I'm just going to show you what is possible doing a totally touchless, contactless wash on your alloy wheels and how good you can get them. Obviously, when we're looking at doing this method, you're looking at wheel faces only. You're not going to be getting into those barrels. You can't get any agitation, so it's not going to be a 100% of the way there, like I've already mentioned. Depending on the design of your alloy wheels, you You might struggle with your calipers if you're not able to get the pressure washer over them. But, you can always move your car in your drive if you want to do that, and that's totally personal as to how good you want to get them doing this cleaning method. So we'll get straight outside, get this APC on, leave it to dwell for a few minutes like I mentioned, then we'll get snow foam just over the top of it. Again, give that a couple of minutes to give it an extra dwell, and then we'll get them rinsed off and see how good we can get them. We've just come outside, we're going to have a quick look at these. I don't even think it's been a week, I think it's been 6 days between washes. I think it rained one day. So like I said, we're looking at what is acceptable for maintenance washes in these cases. So they're never going to be the dirtiest things in the world. But what you would get is just general pressure washing would still struggle to get rid of this. So though you would improve it somewhat, there's enough brake dust on there, mixed with some rain, to have to make you think about something extra. I'll just get a shot of this side as well. Like I mentioned, there's nothing crazy, but when you're looking at weekly maintenance washes, this is what you'll be dealing with. So I'm going to give you a bit of POV today, just for something a bit extra, a bit of a close-up, as it's not something we usually do. I'll get this on. That's one done. Just noticed all these, you have to excuse those. My sister's crazy dog here this weekend. That's had a good few minutes then, just on their own. What we'll do now is we'll get round with this snow foam. Again, go over the top, let it have a few minutes. We'll see if we can see what it's pulled off the surface, if anything, before we pressure wash, and then we'll get on with the cleaning. So although the pull don't look amazing, some of the discoloration, we get some weeks, wheels and tyres. When we've applied a snow foam, there's a bit of darkening in there, but nothing too bad. Like I say, it's just a maintenance wash and something that this process should easily keep up with. Right, so here we are then, back having a look what we've just done after we've given it the initial APC treatment, and then we've gone over it with the snow foam, rinsed that off. I've then just been back over again with the deionized water system, just to make sure we're doing the best we can, not oxidising these calipers and that up too much and getting some water spotting everywhere where we don't need it. So let's have a look at the condition, what it's done, what you can expect. Like I mentioned, you're going to be wheel faces only in this scenario. Barrels are never going to be pristine. You've no way of really getting in there with the pressure washer. But as you can see, it's done a nice job getting in there on the caliper as well, getting that back to bright and shiny red. What you can see is these tar spots that are new. So the road all around the estate has just been relaid a couple of weeks ago. So while the bitumen's been settling, I've been half expecting something like this. You can see actually, it's, yeah, so this tar spotting actually far worse than I expected. It's absolutely everywhere. Look at this in here, all tar. It's terrible. I'm going to have to do a dedicated wheel clean on this with the tar and glue remover. If this is what's visible on the wheels, you can bet this is going to be absolutely everywhere, including the paintwork, even though it's not that long since we went over with the tar and glue. Right, here we are then, back inside. As you can see from today's video, if all you're doing is maintenance washes, whether that's weekly, 2 weekly, monthly, it's all dependent on your conditions really. You know, even in middle of winter, if you're at a weekly wash, some techniques that you would still use maybe in the summer for a month wash might not work. But with what we've shown in this case today is that for a maintenance wash, so for general brake dust, dirt, detritus, that sort of thing, this is perfectly adequate. You can get almost all the way there, especially wheel faces, like I mentioned. For barrels and everything, you're never going to get all that muck off inside those barrels, because not only can you not contact wash them, you can't even get the pressure washer in. So you might do the first inch or so, and it might be better than the rest, but you're never going to get it all the way clean. Again, like I mentioned before, depending on your design of alloy wheel, that'll depend how clean your calipers are going to get, or if you're going to have any gaps, spacing, need to move your car or anything. That is highly dependent on you and your vehicle. But for what we've shown today, obviously, like I mentioned before, we've used this Koch Chemie's Green Star at 10:1 dilution. So real quick, easy, always keep this made up, and it's perfect for things like that. This isn't one of those things at all that you've got to overcomplicate. It's one of those where you just go, what have I got that already probably I've got in the garage, I've got in the house, I've got something that would work in terms of an APC. You get that on as a bit of a pre-treatment. You go over it with just a general snow foam afterwards, so you're not aiding that clean. So we're not misleading anyone saying, oh, we're going to use this real good APC, and then we're going over it with, say, a real strong alkaline cleaner on top of that, and sort of double whacking it. You know, it depends what cleaning products you're using per se. Not all about the alkalinity or the pH, but like I mentioned before, it's more the chemistry of these products and not outright pH. It doesn't really matter how alkaline it is. It matters what chemical they're actually using within. So I've demonstrated this as Koch Chemie's Green Star. It's a good cleaner, it's a good APC. There are even better ones out there if you're maybe looking at Biltamber and going, they make the best all-round APC. Whether you're going on neat, whether you're going on at 10:1, 20:1, whichever you want it for, basically, it's as good as you can get. I like these Koch Chemie products because they do a range of different ones. You know, I don't always want to use Biltamber's super strength APC for all my stuff. I don't mind using Polestar mixed at 20:1 in my interiors and cleaning leather and things like that. So they do have the cases where a general APC that's a bit more mild as the use case, and is perfectly acceptable to be kept and used regularly. I use Polestar probably more than Green Star, but for things like this, this is a lot better. So this is another one of those things then, you really don't need to overcomplicate it. You spray the APC on, leave it to, you know, give it a good lathering, give it a real dousing, give it a couple of minutes, foam over the top, again, couple of minutes, pressure washer off, and that's it, job done. No more than that needed. And if you're doing a totally contactless wash, touchless wash, then this is a great aid to that process. Makes it so you don't have to touch absolutely anything. My additional step then of doing the deionized water, that is totally necessary, and you don't obviously have to do that, but what it gets away from is me having to go over it with any sort of drying, contact drying or anything like that to be worried about water spotting or mineral deposits. When you're doing a totally touchless wash, as I mentioned before, one of the things you don't want to do is contact the car at all. If you're not going to contact it for washing it, why would you do it for drying? That is one of those really crazy things that don't make any sense to anybody. So whatever you're doing, if you're doing a totally touchless washing process where you're doing contact free, make sure you're not doing a contact dry afterwards, because you're just asking to swirl and mar that clear coat. Right, so I hope you found today's video useful. Again, it's not one of those things that you would think people struggle with, but I keep getting questions about it. It's one of those things that comes up in terms of they like the idea of the process, they're just maybe not quite sure on the execution and getting it right if they haven't tried it before. So this is one of those that's super simple, super easy, and should be no problem executing it. So as of filming then, we're about 7 months into this YouTube channel. If you haven't done so already, I'd really appreciate if you could subscribe to what is a new channel, like I mentioned. Drop it a like down below because it really helps the channel out, pushes it out to a wider audience. Any comments that you've got, criticisms, anything like that, builds, let us know. There's a few regular commenters now, which is really good. You know, week on week, we're getting a bit more of a interactive thing going, so that's really appreciated. Thanks for everybody who's already commenting, liking the videos, and subscribed already. If you think someone would find this useful, I know I'll got some direct recipients of this. I'll be DMing it straight to them when it's time. Send it on to someone who you think might find it useful. If you've enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.